Mic check, mic check. Okay, I think we're good. Just like that, we are live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, whether you're watching this live, watching it back. Definitely a lot has happened since last night, since my last stream, and I'm here to talk about it all. Again, just continue to document the journey. Excuse me, because this journey has had so many ups and downs, and that's why I was kind of saying a little bit yesterday in that quick video I made to be prepared for anything. Although I'll be honest, this is not what I expected. I'll be straight up with you guys. I'm always trying to keep it real. But we'll see, right? Like right now, the news is very fresh, so I want to try and digest it. I'm going to cover it in real time, what my initial thoughts are. However, oh, not the pre-stream. We want to see ultimately what's happens, right? Like in the sense over these next few days, like we have the weekend, we can kind of digest, start to dial in and think, okay, well, what exactly is going on here? So, and again, I'm literally just waking up. I got up just an hour ago. Should have got up earlier, honestly, but I couldn't sleep, and I was like, all right, I need sleep. I have a busy weekend ahead, at least a little bit, right? But at the same time, maybe I should have got up earlier, right? But I woke up for 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna shower, just get ready, just chill, and then I'll look at what's going on. And then I go on and I see the shares are down. I'm like, okay, all right, check trading view, right? And I look at this chart. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then I go to my email and I see the share offering. The official earnings are out. So have a sip of coffee here, hit the chat, and then we're gonna talk about this all. Show you all the messages on the side, but again, thank you guys for being here. Jay, what up? Thank you for popping in. You're first. Congrats. Ryan Sung, never a restful day in the saga. That's absolutely correct, my friend. That is so true. This saga has so many ups and downs. It's a crazy journey. Good morning, Elitist. Carter's Corner Pocket. What up, what up? Big short text today. They need to get the calls out of the money. In my opinion, will drop until Ryan Kitty does his live stream. Then we'll rise. Up, dog. Thank you for being here. That's certainly a possibility. Listen, I think regardless, there's going to be a tremendous amount of price activity today. I mean, maybe not, but at least a very tremendous amount of volume. And already, right, when we're looking at the morning, GameStop already has 39 million, approaching 40 million shares traded, right? And I finally got my TD Ameritrade pulled up. I don't really use them as a platform. I simply have $5 in it, and it's part of Schwab, if you guys weren't aware. I simply have $5 in it, just so I could have the platform to access Thinkorswim, get some better options data and whatnot. And, you know, last night I was saying, like, damn, I wish I had a call. And now I'm like, this is why I stick to my principles and I just have shares, because you never truly know what's going to happen tomorrow in this saga, right? And I sold a put, but I sold a put for 15, or it's a $15 put that I sold, which is again still a bullish position. Let me actually tweet this out real quick. So still fine on that. And if it goes to 15, I think that's an excellent entry point. Going live on now to talk GameStop. Talk the latest on GameStop. All right. Boom. Okay, yeah, this was me last night. I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about every possibility, and there were like not doubts in my mind, but I was like, so what could go wrong? But I'll be honest, I didn't expect them to issue shares. To be straight up, like I didn't expect them to issue shares, and I definitely understand like people's frustrations and like what is going on here with this company. They're raising so much capital, or they already just raised a bunch of money from shares. Now they're raising more shares. What is going on here? We don't have any commentary from the company, right? And oh, get out of here with these ads. But let me go through the chat. I'm gonna get to it all. Wendy, what up? Thanks for being here. Bad news early, good news later. Ryan, that certainly could be the case. Can we talk about the 75 million share offering? Absolutely, up dog. Absolutely. Let me just dial in. Was just listening to previous stream. Double Chubb, thank you for being here. Appreciate you popping in. Yeah, last night was an emergency stream. It's like too much price action going on. I just got home. I was like, all right, I got to run it real quick. But folks, need to look back a couple weeks to see what happens at the last ATM completed. Dane Slayer, thank you for being here. Companies can increase float by 40% over days of interesting market dynamics, to say the least. Exactly, Patrick. Exactly. No matter what, this is extremely interesting, and that's why I want to try and just react to it in real time. And then when I digest it a little, try and make a video or do another stream like a couple days from now. I'm like, okay, this is what I think now that I've digested it, right? Good morning, Whiskey, what up? This is Chestnut Checkers. The moves are not meant to be obvious. Let's find out what it's about. So I think the G-America Shuttle NFT had the massive fueling launch platform for the reason in the graphic. Maybe just overthinking hindsight, but Patrick, yeah, and remember, Roaring Kitty is still streaming today, and I have some thoughts on that. We'll get to that, but we leaving AMC in the dust soon. Sven, I hope so, my friend. I hope so. Thank you for being here. This isn't DFV. What the fuck? Mubs, thank you for being here. I'm not trying to be DFE. Let me be perfectly clear. I'm definitely not trying to be DFE. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to European brothers. Yes, good afternoon to European brothers. This is the second time that Ryan Cohen has killed a short squeeze momentum. I don't know how I even say your name, but listen, I get that. But at the same time, I think from his standpoint, I guess focus on the long term of the business. He's not looking to like enact a squeeze directly, or like he's not going to personally be involved, I think, in the squeeze. I think he has to solely focus on the business fundamentals. I mean, you can see last few months done effort. Is those shares still stated in the document? 5 million with no debt. I'm cool with that. Matt, fair point. 75 million could be sold to institutional longs. Bubs, that's also certainly a possibility. So let's get into it, all of it here. First, we have a lot of short volume yesterday. I saw on a separate chart, like this was like general short volume was more than January 2021, or like a span of January 2021 than it was the past few days, right? So it just seems like still it's being heavily shorted, right? A lot of short volume, a lot of it off exchange. I mean, there's always a lot off exchange, right? And generally with other stocks, there's always a decent amount off exchange because that's just the nature of our markets and institution in these big blocks. So we got the GME YOLO update from DFV yesterday afternoon after we didn't get one for a couple days, but solid point someone pointed out here. I don't know if you guys saw this. I figured out the reason why DFV is live streaming tomorrow. He'll be celebrating his 5-year anniversary for first time purchasing GME. Also, everything going on will play a fact. First lot was purchased on June 7th, 2019. And I'm pretty sure his birthday is tomorrow, by the way. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure his birthday is June 8th. I don't know exactly how old he is, maybe like early 30s. But yeah, exactly 5 years ago. And I got to get more coffee in me, guys, so I get fired up here. That's why I feel like I'm a little bit more mellow right now. I haven't had my coffee. But also, obviously, the vibes are different than yesterday. I'll keep it real with you guys. If I wear a white shirt, I'm like, am I going to get coffee on this thing? But just Kirkland from Costco, so I have a million of them anyway. But 5 years ago, he purchased his first shares. And first, we'll talk about the share offering. I think we'll start there. And then we'll go into the potential of Roaring Kitty Stream, right? So first, we got the actual earnings. So we already had the preliminary earnings, which was like a range, right? So I'll show you right here. And we're going to do pros, cons, and side notes for the share offering. So this was the last one. They offered shares, or they around $30. The filing came out that they're planning to sell shares. The price went down about 1/3. If we see something similar from 46, 1/3 would be down about 15. So maybe we go to 30 and we kind of float in that range if it follows the same pattern as last time. Although, obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same, but that's just math there. The drop off ultimately resulted in them selling shares at an average price point of $20.74. And then this is where it was completed only 5 days later. And we already had, and they raised $933 million for a total of $570 per share. And this is adjusted, estimating they have approximately 351 million shares after the offering. So now, if they do have another 75 million issued, they would be looking at about 426 roughly. And at that time, right now they have 2 billion before any shares are sold into the open market. And last time it only took 5 business days, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 6 business days, because the filing came out on a Friday morning, and then you had all Friday, and then the entire next week, Friday afternoon, it came out that it was completed. So if it's a similar pattern, again, not saying it definitely will be, because remember, this is an ATM, meaning that at any point in time they could go out and issue shares. They might not even necessarily issue shares at this exact point in time. Maybe they just want to have the capability to issue shares if it continues to move higher over the next several weeks, right? Because last time I thought, okay, well, maybe they're not going to issue all the shares right away. Then they did, and I was like, oh, okay, that was fast. But that doesn't mean it'll be exactly the same this time, because also keep in mind this time it's 75 million versus 45 million. So there's definitely some differences here. And these were the preliminary results. We knew the revenue was going to be down about 26%. This was May 17th when the first share offering was filed. And then we also knew SG&A was between 290 and 300 million. It came in officially at 295. We knew net loss was going to be there, improvement year over year. But of course, the revenue going down, I'm not saying that's ideal. That's absolutely not ideal. But the silver lining is that overhead costs are continuing to be cut in terms of like SG&A. And then net loss is not as bad as the year before. So it's like a net loss of 32 million versus 50 million. And now we do have those exact numbers. And I believe, I could be mistaken, I believe if they wanted to do another share offering with it being so close to earnings, I think that's why they had to just drop earnings today instead of waiting till June 11th. But again, never a dull moment in this saga, right? There's been so many ups and downs. So I feel kind of numb to it all, honestly. And I'm just like, okay. And also, there's been a lot of times in the past we thought one thing, right? When I say I just general sentiment online or individuals thought one thing, and then 5 days later, 7 days later, 10 days later, or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, well, I actually thought it was like that, but now I see it from this perspective. So I'm trying to just digest it all right now. Obviously, I'm giving you my real time reaction because, like I said, I just woke up an hour ago. I was like, you know, that meme that Roaring Peak always posts, where it's like, Jimmy people in the pre-market, like that guy. It's a classic meme. It's like green. It also has a red one, but SG&A came in officially at 295.1, so exactly in the middle of the range. Revenue 0.882 billion, so 882 million. Obviously, we know they cut some stores out, and net loss was 32 million. Again, pretty much in the middle of all the estimates there on the preliminary. So improvement year over year on that. And then cash equivalents. You might think, oh, well, why does it only say 1 billion? Remember, in the last share offering, that was still Q2. Q2 for GameStop is May, June, July. So we're still in Q2 right now. So the share offering is not going to be reflected in the numbers here. And then long-term debt remains to a low interest unsecured term loan with the French government's response. And then we do get the exact numbers here. And this is literally real time right now. The first time I'm reacting to these. So I didn't even read these yet. So obviously with less sales, less cost of goods, SG&A lower year over year, and the operating loss was negative 50.6 versus negative 58.4. So operating wise, the improvement wasn't that great in terms of the bottom line. And then interest income, they earned 14.9 million on their cash and cash equivalents versus 9.7 of the year before. And then so their loss before income taxes was 35.7 and then 50.6 the year before. And then they get a little bit back, right? Because they didn't turn a net profit on the bottom line. So EPS came in at negative 11 cents. And then year over year, again, this is before the share offering. Shares went from 304.5 to 305.9. And I think that has to do with, we can look at the little details, right? But it's pretty much shares being compensated and a few other slight little things, right? But again, it's not a large movement. Obviously, the large movement will be when we get the Q2 filing. And as a percentage, to me, the biggest disappointment is that SG&A was 33.5% versus 27.9% of the same quarter last year. And they were trending, right? Looking from 2022 to 2023, they were going from, in the low 30s. And I look at the first 3 quarters because the last quarter is an exception, I would say, or definitely should be looked at differently than the other quarters because it's the holiday season. It's the majority of their sales are. So obviously they need to spend more on overhead during that period of time. Just in general, they're spending more. It's like they'll spend more on cost of goods. But just looking at the first 3 quarters, we saw like a 5% drop off each time, like quarter over quarter. And then also, if you look at the number itself, it declined. But with revenue declining as well year over year from 2022 to 2023, that's where I think it's really important to look at it as a percentage. But unfortunately, and I am going to update this chart, we are back looking like 2022. The number itself is lower. Right here, it's going to say 295 million. But percentage, it's going to be like 33%, which again is not ideal. So to me, that's one of the bigger disappointments here. But ultimately, there's a long way to go with this. And I've been in this for a long time, so it's easy to say that. Anyone trading it right now, it's a little bit unfortunate, right? Because maybe you bought calls back here, and now you're like, what's that clown? Martin Shirelli or whatever his name is. Of course, it's kind of comical to me that he flipped, I think, right here. He flipped from short, or maybe it was like right here. But at this price, around 40, he flipped from being short after saying, I have no skin in this game. I'm just talking about it. I'm so experienced with the markets, right? And, actually, I was short. You know what? I'm just going long. And now he's going to sell and be like, this stupid company. Oh, my God, right? He's probably going to throw a hissy fit. So just be prepared for that. If he hasn't already, I haven't checked his page. But going back to the numbers. So they still have a good amount of cash equivalents. And marketable securities, they have less, but marketable securities and cash equivalents should be added together because marketable securities is pretty much just T-bills, basically just short-term bonds, and then also just money market accounts, things, or money market accounts is a cash equivalent. So marketable security, because it's under current assets, is something that expires or matures rather between 3 months and a 12-month time frame, because current means less than 12 on the balance sheet. But by definition, cash equivalents are anything that expires within 3 months. So if they buy a 1-month bond or a 6-week bond or something of that nature, then when it expires, like, it's still calculated under cash equivalents, just by definition, just so you're aware. And then inventory year over year, they slim that down a little bit, so a little bit less on hand versus the same quarter of last year. And I think that might have a little bit to do with the fact that they're really just shipping everything out of the U.S. through the Texas distribution center. And then deferred income, pretty much in line with last year. Operating lease of right of use assets, that's their not liabilities. What's the word I'm looking for? For the properties they own, not own, the properties they rent for their stores. Like, that's the store leases. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry. Again, gotta have more coffee, guys. Gotta have more coffee and wake up. So, store leases, there's less on the, and again, this is a long-term asset because it's not under current, because those leases are several years down the line. It's a lower number because they have less stores open this quarter than they did the same quarter of last year. And then the current portion of operating lease liabilities, right? This is what they currently owe within the next 12 months right here. So again, this number is lower year over year because I have less stores overall. And again, I'm not saying that's like the most ideal, but if a store is not profitable, the reality is you do have to close it. And when you look at the specific numbers, and you can see more so in the 10K, like when Q4 came out / full year earnings, while they did close many stores, they did open some more. So I think they're being very strategic. Like, they opened, I think net they were down like 50 stores or something. Like, they had closed, again, I'm just throwing numbers out there. This is definitely wrong. I have to go back and look at the specifics, but it was something like they closed 80 stores, but they opened 30. So net, they were down 50 stores. So that means those 30 stores had to have been strategic placement, because why else would you open those stores if you're closing the other ones, right? So just kind of shows like the attention to detail and what they're doing. And again, I'm not saying like, oh, this is so wonderful, but I'm just explaining what it is. And then moving on, the long-term debt, we've known this is a very low number. It just, by the way, the long-term debt has a 1% interest rate, and at this point it's down to only 14.9, but they'll pay it off as slow as possible, because on their cash equivalents, marketable securities, they're earning like 5% right now with the high interest rate environment. And I don't know, let me know, do you guys think that the Fed is going to cut rates? I don't know about that, but people are saying, oh yeah, it's going to come, but the market is so hot. Why would the Fed cut rates? And like, it's just going to make inflation rage on, but whatever. That's a separate topic, separate stream, but this is really what I wanted to see, the cash flow statement, because we knew approximately what this number was going to be. We knew it was between negative 27 million and negative 37 million. However, we didn't know why the cash changed, right? Because net, the cash went down. So let's take a look. And again, year over year, you might say, oh, well, it's pretty much the same as last year. But looking from Q4 to now, what was the change of cash and cash equivalents, right? Because this is the current report. Oh, it's up here. Cash equivalents, marketable securities were 1.08 billion. So let's see here. Accounts payable and accrued liabilities. So that was a significant part of the operating side of the cash flow. But then last year there was more so of it was inventory. So they spent more on inventory right now, or sorry, they sold more. But the marketable securities, so there was more proceeds, but they didn't purchase as many. So net, that looks like a cash flow, but it really isn't, because it's just moving on the balance sheet from one place to another. And then again, this is the repayment of the French loans. They're very limited amount of long-term debt. But then overall, the decrease in cash equivalents, marketable securities was 78.6 million. So the best thing to do, and again, just to clarify, this is the very first time I'm reading this cash flow statement right now. So that's why if I'm on the spot, I'm like, oh, wait, what? I'm trying to digest it in real time. So really what I need to do is add it to my list, my big to-do list, right? Compare cash flow statements from, and I encourage you guys to do this as well for yourselves, because it's always so important to do your own research, but I'll definitely do it in a future stream for the Q4 cash flow statement versus the Q1 now, because you already see the previous Q1 right here on the right side. So like 2023's Q1, but you really want to look at it versus Q4 of 2023 as well. And then the sales breakdown. So across the board, there was declines. Of course, that's again not ideal. Collectibles moved up a little bit in terms of percentage of revenue. Hardwares and accessories and software was about the same. And collectibles, generally speaking, have higher margins. So, and I think no, well, CandyCon would fall under hardware and accessories. So collectibles, again, generally speaking, higher margins. So I'd like to see them do more with that. And you know, you have like Cardsmiths, right? I got this one. I had to throw it in a case because it's nice. 97 and 99. We got first a limited edition card of it. And then also, you know, they have other trading cards. Like I picked up these couple. I got Justin Jefferson. I got CJ Stroud. Unfortunately, PSA 9, but I'm balling on a budget right now, guys. I've been trying to just save a lot. And also, I didn't have either of those guys in PSA 10. Maybe I would have bought them then, but regardless, I like the cards. I like the cards. But SG&A expense, so they transformation costs. Transformation costs include severance, stock-based compensation, forfeitures related to workforce optimization efforts, and departures of key personnel, and other costs in connection with the transformative initiative. So interesting. I don't remember seeing that here previously. Maybe it was. And we'll see a lot more. I mean, maybe not that much more, but when they file the actual 10Q, because this 8K, it just, you know, gives us the overview of it. But when we get the 10Q, that's where we'll really see like all the specifics, like all the tiny print. But, you know, net loss was 32.3. And then again, transformative costs, they're counting them down there. Then, so adjusted EPS was negative 12 cents. And again, guys, I'm not trying to say like, oh, wow, like everything's all fine and dandy. But moving on to the share offering now, let's check the price real quick. I always got to check, right? So it's holding up decent, I would say, relative to the fact they're issuing shares. And at what point the shares actually issued is to be determined. It won't necessarily just be a 1 week thing again. This share offering could be in place theoretically for the rest of the year, right? And let's say they just sell another 10 million, just to use an example. They sell 10 million shares at the current price of $38. They would raise another 380 million, and then we would see this when the Q2 filing comes out. We would see the 9.33 or the 933 million they raised with the last share offering. And then we would see, okay, well, they sold another 10 million shares and they were raising another 380 million. So on the cash flow statement, right, we would see under investing activities, let's get back there. Under investing activities, or sorry, financing activities, my apologies, you would see issuance of stock, and then it would show up right here. And then that will create the increased amount of cash on the balance sheet that we'll ultimately see over here, right? And these are always the three most important statements of any company: statement of operations, balance sheet, cash flow statement. Just kind of paints the full picture. Like you really need all of them to fully understand like what's going on with the company. I just really believe that. But having said all that, if they do that, we'll see that reflected in the Q2 earnings. But then at any point in time in the future, they still have 65 million shares that could be issued. They don't necessarily have to do it instantaneously. And then let's say theoretically, price goes up to $100. They can then go ahead, okay, well, now it's at $100. We're going to issue another 30 million shares, right? And then they have another 3 billion. So it really depends when they issue the shares. If it's like last time, it will be just about a week and they'll do it quick, right? But I'm not necessarily sure that's going to be the case considering last time, like the fact that last time they did it, there was no last time in recent memory. So the fact that they are doing it again after they just completed another one makes me think it's not necessarily going to be instant. So we'll have to see though. Of course, I'm not here to give you advice or say anything's for sure. And the thing that people are most disappointed about is probably this section, mostly right here. Our management will have broad discretion application of the net proceeds, if any, from this offering, including for any of the purposes described in the section under use of proceeds. And we'll check that next. You will not have the opportunity as part of your investment decision to assess whether the net proceeds are being used appropriately. Because of the number and variability of factors that will determine our use of the net proceeds from this offering, their ultimate use may vary substantially from their currently intended use. Pending their use, we intend to invest the net proceeds from this offering in short-term, investment-grade, interest-bearing securities or accounts. Our management might might not apply our net proceeds in that way, in ways that ultimately increase the value of your investment. So basically saying we might not necessarily use the investment policy right away. We could, but we're not saying it definitely is going to be the case. Like they might just stick with safe interest-bearing securities or accounts such as like money market accounts, high yield savings. We intend to use the net proceeds of this offering, if any, for general corporate purposes, which may include acquisitions and investments in a manner consistent with our investment policy. So could, right? May include acquisitions and investments in a manner consistent with our investment policy. So take that with a grain of salt. It could happen, but it's not like a guarantee. These investments and acquisitions may not yield a favorable return for our stockholders, and the company may lose the value of any net proceeds invested. If we do not invest or apply the net proceeds from this offering in ways that enhance stockholder value, we may fail to achieve expected financial results, which could cause our stock price to decline. So again, I understand where people are frustrated on that, and it would be nice to get a little bit of guidance. I'm not going to lie to you. It would be a little bit nice to get some guidance, but we'll read this part here, and then I'll give you some additional thoughts. Under this prospectus settlement and supplement and the accompanying prospectus, in accordance with the terms of the sale agreement, we may issue and sell up to 75 million shares of common stock from time to time through the sales agent. Again, from time to time. That time won't necessarily be now. Last time I thought it might take some time before they actually fully complete the share sale. I was wrong. They did it very quickly, right? And I could show you on this chart here. This is what it looked like. They offered, similar to right now, pre-market. They offered shares during a pre-market session on a Friday, the 17th, and then the following Friday, aftermarket, right? So pretty much 6 full trading days elapsed. They already had completed the offering, and on the 24th, the share offering was announced to be complete. So if that's a similar pattern, we would theoretically get another filing next Friday afternoon saying it's complete, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case this time because one, they just did the share offering previously very quickly, and two, they don't have to do it right away because it says from time to time, and it's a larger amount. That's what I meant to say, 75 million. Damn, the iPad just died on the side here with the chat, so I'm going to check that in a second. But because there's no minimum offering amount required as a condition to close the offering, the actual total public offering amount, commissions and proceeds, if any, are not determined at this time. We intend to use these net proceeds of this offering, if any, for general corporate purposes, which may include acquisitions and investments. Again, keyword may. Don't get too excited about that. Include acquisitions and investments in a manner consistent with our investment policy. There are no current plans. Currently, there's no plans, right? But tomorrow, of course, that could change. You never know. But again, it says no current plans, so let's be clear about that. Commitments or arrangements to make any acquisitions or investments. Any future acquisitions or investments will be made in accordance with the company's applicable policies, hence the investment policy, and procedures for such types of transactions, including the company's investment policy. Pending the uses described above, we intend to invest in net proceeds from this offering in short-term investment grade and interest-bearing securities or accounts. So, right now, right, let's say theoretically they issue all the shares at $35 a piece. They would raise another 75 million, right? Or 35, what am I doing? Yeah, 35 a share. Yeah, 75 million. More coffee, guys. I need more coffee. Trying not to get on my shirt. I feel like I'm so paranoid whenever I wear a white shirt. But if they theoretically sold all 75 million shares at $35 a piece, they would get 2.6 billion. That would be plus the 2 billion they already have. Well, plus 2 billion. Make the calculator bigger. It's gonna get off the screen here. So plus 2 billion, if that's the case, right? Or we'll put it right in the middle. It would be 4.6 billion in cash they would have, and let's say just for 1 year they accumulate 5% interest with the high interest rate environment they're in. They would accumulate 0.05. They would earn 231 million in interest income, which is quite a lot. It would put them to be significantly more profitable in terms of net profit. So there's a difference. There's operating profit. That's for the company themselves, right? And if we go back here, over here, we can see that. So let's get to the operations. You can see the operating profit, right? Loss before income taxes, net loss. Or sorry, operating loss. See, again, reading this in real time here, guys. The operating loss was negative 50.6. Let's say they theoretically have the same exact operating loss the same quarter of next year, which I don't think they do. I think they'll continue to improve on that. And of course, execution's key with that. We'll see what happens. But theoretically, right, the operating profit was negative 50 million, but the interest income was 233 million. This number right here would be negative 233 million. And it's because it says interest income net, and that's because that's what they earned. So it's being added back. Whereas if it's interest expense, it would be a non-negative number, and then it would be subtracted out, right? That's just the nature of the operation statement. So if that was the case, right, and then let's say, so the difference between 231 million and negative 50 million, their net profit would be 180 million. But that would still mean the operating profit is negative. However, the net profit would be significantly positive. So that's just food for thought there to keep in mind. But talking about all this in real time and digesting it, what I'm starting to think more and more is it's not necessarily going to be an acquisition for the company. I am starting to think that they're going to execute on the investment policy, and really that's what they're trying to do. So we'll see. Again, I'm just reacting to it in real time right here, guys. I'm just trying to figure it out like everybody else. I'm still waking up. Got it again. More coffee, more coffee. Do I have a charger over here so I can plug in the chat pretty much so I can get it pulled back up on the iPad? Oh my god, this is the stupid new iPad. It doesn't have that. Hold on, guys. I need to go get a charger 1 second. But I'll make the final point, and then I want to hit the chat and kind of see where everyone's head's at. I kind of wanted to just get through it all. Guys, so many different ideas bouncing around in my skull right now. And even last night before I went to bed, and then this happens this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many more other thoughts to have. And then also have an opinion on DFE's stream that I'll share after I get to the chat. But what I'm trying to say here is I think the investment policy is going to be really how they move forwards. Instead of like an acquisition or trying to do something really unique with the business, it seems like they're going to use the investment policy to buy other stocks and potentially Bitcoin. I'm starting to think more and more that they might buy some Bitcoin. I understand though that some GameStop shareholders might not be totally fond of that, but I think if it's a small percentage of their cash reserves, it makes sense. And again, that's my opinion because I personally believe in Bitcoin a lot. I also own a bunch of Bitcoin. So at the same time, I'm okay if they don't go with that approach. That's totally fine. But we'll ultimately have to see what they do. But it seems like they're going to be using the investment policy. Why else would they be raising so much cash after all these years? They decide to raise all this cash. So it just makes me think they're planning to enact the investment policy and start purchasing other stocks and or Bitcoin and or fully acquire another company and make it part of them. Because you have to think Berkshire, what they do is they invest in other companies, right? Like they'll have a huge Apple holding, they have a huge holding of Barrick Gold, they have other holdings of this and that. Pepsi, they've been a long time shareholder, or sorry, Coca-Cola. Buffett's a big Coca-Cola guy. He's owned that stock forever. But also, Berkshire owns Geico, and Geico's not publicly traded. They just fully own it, the insurance company, and they own various other names that you probably have their products or use their products in or eat their products, whatever the case is, right? And you might not even realize that they're 100% owned by Berkshire. So maybe that's really the approach GameStop's going with, where they're going to try and fully acquire companies when they're undervalued and also invest in other public securities of some kind, but maybe even some other alternatives, right? Such as Bitcoin or potentially even gold, right? Again, just throwing the idea out there while also earning as much interest on their cash at the time as well through marketable securities. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. I feel like why else would they issue so many shares now? Or again, we don't know exactly when these 75 million are to be issued. We know for sure the 45 million was complete. Again, this was the timeline. I'll let you look at this as I go to grab the charger here, but I just feel like that makes the most sense. Like this has to do with the investment policy. Otherwise, why would they want to raise so much capital to have so much cash on the balance sheet? Because yes, cash in the short term is great. Like you can, like their balance sheet is strong and they can earn a lot on these marketable securities. But the reality of it is, interest rates probably will not be this high for a long time. That's number one. And number two, inflation. and you don't want to be inflated out of your money. And I just don't think just holding cash on a long-term basis is the most sustainable thing. So let me get to charger so I can go through the chat. I'll try my best to get to everything. One sec. All right, guys, just situating in here. Stupid Apple switching the charger. It's crazy. Okay, let's make sure. Yep, this is charging. I think it's charging. It better be, but if not, I'll go grab my laptop in the worst case scenario. But really, thank you guys so much for being here. We'll go to the chat on here. I'm sure everyone has a bunch of different ideas. And again, really, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's pop this out real quick. Pop out the chat. Put the chart on the side here, or do it on this side. Listen, I'm sure everyone has lots of different opinions. I see a whole bunch of people in the chat, so it's time to check the chat for real. And we'll see what happens at market opens. I'll be here with you guys. Actually, I'm not sure if this is charging. Oh my goodness. All right, let me get my laptop, guys. 1 second. I promise I'll be super quick. Chug the rest of my coffee as well. Then we're going to get through everything. We're going to talk about everything. Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Morning streams have been throwing me off. Maybe, and probably can't hear me that well right now, but that's all right. Okay. Yeah, that way I can kind of go through things as we're reading the chat at the same time. But for now, we got the chat over here. We're good. We get all kinds of opinions. I welcome the Bulls. I welcome the Bears. I'm sure there's plenty of people here with plenty of opinions right now. But see you guys later. Before we go around, love you guys. Damn, can't even go all the way back. S&P 500. Here we come. Whiskey. That's certainly a possibility. I just have to maintain overall profitability, and excuse me, the most recent quarter when they apply to be in the S&P also has to be net profitable. See, this is a 4D Ryan Cohen and Larry move. S&P 500 will require lower share price to enter with a larger market cap. Whiskey, that's certainly to check invest. A folder 426.9. Thank you for being here, my friend. What a comment. But this is a 4D chess move from Ryan Cohen and Larry. S&P 500 will require lower price to enter with a larger market cap. Whiskey, you could be onto something there, because also at the same time, what you have to realize is if the stock, like, it was becoming more and more liquid, right? I'm pretty sure liquidity and the amount of shares being traded is a factor in entering the S&P 500 as well. But I think in the long term, that's absolutely what they have to aim to get to. I hate this price point too high to buy it, too low to get active. Sven, I think that's certainly a very valid point. Perfect timing. Thanks for the bull's perspective, of course. Just trying to share how I see it. But what a ride. Oh, yeah. RP. Exactly. No matter what, whether you're bullish or bearish, how do you not love this journey? How do you not love what's going on with this stock? Like, it's such an epic journey. Like, that's what I love more than anything else. Like, this journey, I've learned so much. No matter what happens, how it plays out, I've learned so much, met so many incredible people, and how do you not enjoy watching what's going on with this stock these past several years, especially lately, right? I welcome the Bulls. I welcome the Bears. Good morning, all. Long Rain, what up? It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. The company's about to be taking their second rounds of steroids to be jacked. RP, certainly a fair point. Great news today. Setting new floors for us. RP, the floor is 0 eyes. Can't cover $20 calls in the money still. That's very true. And one other thing I was going to talk about, if we look at the call options chain, there's still a ton of calls that are in the money, right? And let's look at like January. Why do I always go to say, every time I think 2021, I'm like that dog meme. I start getting flashbacks. January 2021. June 21st, 2024. There's still tons of calls that are in the money, right? We don't even have open interest on this. I just realized. How do you... I haven't used this in a while. Oh, open interest is on there. So, see, I don't have any positions. I just use this for... How do we... Okay, I'm trying to... Oh. There we go. Or options chain. So, look how many options are still in the money right now. No, I'm not buying any options. Get out of here. Look, just for this week alone, look how many options are still in the money. Even if it's at 30, still another 13,000 of money. And then you have to go back further. There's still so many that are in the money for this week. And these are weeklies, but when you look at the monthlies, obviously the $20 strike is where Roaring Kitty owns 120,000 and still remains to be seen what will happen with that. And there's 147,000 total. So that means there's another 27,985 there, not even him. And look, there's still another 22,000 at the 25 price. There's still another 28,000 at the $30 price. So, and then you have another 28,000 at 40, which obviously we're below at this current time. And again, the market hasn't even opened yet. I expect a drop off in the morning. That could certainly happen. I mean, we are in the morning right now. I'm not used to streaming in the morning, but yo, Dirty Bird, welcome back, my friend. Let's fucking go, Moon. Hey, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. You're so good to me, my friend. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Like, I'm so appreciative. Starting with Friday morning, right? Let's go. See, now I had the coffee. Now it's kicking in, but now I'm starting to triple my words, right? You get me too mellow, then you get me too hyped up, but that's all right. So all of my GME shares, I'll buy when it's around 30-ish. Listen, LB, at the end of the day, everyone's going to do what's best for themselves. For me, I'm a buy and hold kind of guy. If you're going to trade, that's totally fine. I understand where traders are moving out right here. But again, with the nature of the stock, there's so many crazy movements, so you do have to also kind of realize, like, you never know when if it's going to go back to a certain price point or what it's going to look like going back to said price point, right? So we'll see. Because I can, what up? Ryan Kitty has his way less money to sell off some options to exercise shares now, at least for the moment. Earnings was set for Tuesday. What the fuck? Again. BP, again, I totally understand where some people are frustrated, confused, like what's going on right now. But this is where you have to fall back to your belief in the management team. And I definitely get, like, people want to get some guidance and understand more about what's happening. And I'm not saying I'm totally opposed to that, but if you're invested in GameStop, you have to understand, like, you're putting your faith in the company to execute a ultimate turnaround. And that's easier said than done. There's no doubt about that, and there's more execution to be done. I definitely want to be clear about that. But again, I've been in this so long, I'm chilling. Should get a Jamar to go with Jettas. Honestly, X1, I might have to, but the thing is, I'm a Steelers fan, so anyone in the division, I'm like, yeah. But Jamar Chase is a beast, and who knows if he'll be with the Bengals in the long run, right? But he's an absolute stud. It's scary that Burrow's going to be back this year. It's like everyone forgot about Joe Burrow because he was out most of last year. He was having like a little bit of a tougher start to the year, and then he was out the remainder of the year. Everyone kind of forgot about him, right? But like, this man is really good at football, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep an eye on the GameStop website. Giga, what up? Thanks for being here. Lots of copium today. Yes, we were saying that exercise of 12 million shares would be overwhelming. Now people are acting like 70 million shares is nothing. Anthony, yeah, no, listen, I totally understand where you're coming from. And we'll see what happens, because also we don't know if they're actually going to issue those shares right away. Like, they reserve the right to issue them, but it won't necessarily happen right away. So, like, use of proceeds, or I don't know, I'd have to find it again, but we went over it before. I think you got the point there. So we'll see if they do it right away. I really don't think, I know I said this last time, but I don't think they're going to do it right away. I think they're going to sell some at this price point, maybe $35 in this range in the market open, maybe a little bit next week. I don't think they're going to do all 75 million right away, unless they have some kind of move they're preparing to make, some kind of large acquisition of some kind, but we'll see. They have to announce earnings before they release any new shares. Long, thank you. Yes, I was thinking that was probably the case. They did it half hour beforehand. I'm sure they issued all of them once this morning. Whiskey, I don't know about that, because right now the volume's only 48 million, so I think it would have to be at least 75 million for them to have done that. But I do wonder, when they issue shares, are they allowed to do in the pre-market? Was any of this drop right here, was this just a market reaction to the share offering being announced? Or was this some of them selling shares? Were they selling shares in this range at all? Are they selling shares right now as we speak? And also, if someone just mentioned in the chat that 30 minutes before they released the announcement that they're offering shares, that was right here. This little drop off right here was when they released actual earnings, which, if you think about it though, we knew pretty much what the earnings were going to be. Like, while yes, we just got the official earnings, it was pretty known, like, through the preliminary results, which were released before the last share offering, right? So why would it really have the market reacted like that? It was already pretty much priced in and widely known. So that's just food for thought there. But I know what you're saying about Ryan Cohen have to focus on the business fundamentals and not the squeeze, but if they want to dilute instead of doing it in the middle of gamma, they would be better off. Shy Guy for the win. Thank you for being here. That's a valid point. Absolutely. But the counterpoint I would say is that if they do want to issue shares through a run-up, they do have to have this in place. But then it also kind of makes me think, why would they not have had just a larger share offering last time, and then issue 45 million initially, and then have some left over to be issued if they so choose to. So again, I'm just reacting to all of it in real time, so I appreciate all of your comments, and it's all food for thought for me as well. Just like I'm trying to share things to get people thinking and just bounce ideas off each other, right? That's why I love the live chat, because it's tough. I'm yapping away out here, but I get ideas from you guys get ideas from me, and we just bounce them off each other. And it's not to say, like, I'm this expert, listen to me, oh my god, like, I'm never ever trying to say that. I want to be perfectly clear. Like, I am by no means an expert. I'm just a regular guy trying to document what's happening with GameStop, my adventure being a shareholder, and just trying to actually report on it accurately, unlike the cloud mainstream media. I think they already completed the offering. Holders is bullish. Love Stars, I don't know about that. I have 100K. I made $1 million yesterday. I'm not selling. I was pissed at first, but I'm buying more to open. Hey, Love Stars, good for you, man. Not worried one bit. Honestly, me either, and that's easy to say because I was buying shares the whole way down these past several years. So I wasn't buying shares yesterday or even last week. I've pretty much just been holding these past 2 weeks, guys. I got to be honest with you. I have not made any trades in terms of shares. I've sold a put, and then I bought it to close. Like, I sold a $12 put for June 21st. Premium pretty much went away, so I bought it to close. So I collected some nice premium there, about 45 bucks, nothing crazy. And then I sold the July put, right? Like, I sold this one. July 19th, 2024, I sold the $15 put at $1, right? Or $1 is 100 shares. So I collected $100 in premium and I put $1,500 up of collateral. Right now, this is lower. This might open a little bit higher, but I have a very hard time believing GameStop will be below $15 on July 19th. Obviously, that's a bit away, but time decay, theta is on my side when I sell an option. So that's, and I was just saying yesterday, like, oh, I wish I should have bought a call with that premium I earned. I should have bought a YOLO call, but now I'm like, nope. This is why I stick to my principles, just dabbling in selling puts a little bit and just sticking to holding shares with GameStop. But listen, everyone's got to do what's best for them at the end of the day. Everyone has their own cup of tea in the market. That's just the reality of it. I'm not selling. I'm not worried one bit. I mean, we were at 31 yesterday and higher today. Let's go. And they will have a very hard time covering Roaring Kitty if you exercise. Exactly. We still haven't even talked about Roaring Kitty's possibility of exercising yet. And I just realized the market is about to open in a minute, guys. The market is about to open in a minute. I didn't even realize that. Do we think we're going to get a halt here? Do we think we're going to get a halt? So, naming fair shares out there. Stock will squeeze. Market just made big money for the company. With a serious scam, they could wait a week. Seriously, in my opinion, they only did an offering. They could have waited. Anthony, yeah, I don't think you're totally wrong here. I think you absolutely have a fair opinion. I totally see what you're saying. Long-term plays rock solid. I'm never selling. Retirement plan done, sealed. Again, everyone's gonna do this for themselves. Probably wait to close of June 21st when the hype is off the charts. Derek, it could be. Could be all part of the plan. Oh, I'm trying to read everything. We're doing too fast. Game share stop away, bitches. Larry Tang just tweeted. All right, we'll check that in a minute. Professor of Nothing, thank you for being here. Increases shorts, increase every time floor raises $10, $20, $40 in cash in hand, 1 billion to 2 billion, 5 billion. So yeah, the more cash they have in hand, the more cash per share they do have. So it looks like the market, has officially opened. Not too big of a move here at the start. We'll see if we get any kind of halt on the downside. I certainly think that's a possibility, but Negative Nanya, what's up? I'm so jacked. Let's go Tetron. Hey, it's good to see you here. I know you're on German time, so it's usually hard for you to make the stream, so I appreciate you popping in this morning. It's probably afternoon for you, right? So you're like, oh, hey, look, Tetron's live. I'll hop in here, right? So appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. Give yourself some time to digest and see where this plays off. Did a great job covering it, bro. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll have way better thoughts over these next few days because I'll be able to digest it, take some time to think about it. Literally just woke up an hour before I started the stream. I woke up 2 hours ago, and I'm still just reacting to everything real time, just like everyone else. So, what do you think about buying in now? Trilak, listen, if you want a buying opportunity, this could be it. But at the same time, the reality of this stock is that it could drop significantly more. I'm just keeping it real with you. It could go up a lot, and it could go down a lot. So, sure, this might be an opportunity. This is a dip relative to the high in the after hours yesterday and the pre-market today. But just understand that it could go one way or another. So maybe a little bit now, a little bit a few days from now. I think you ultimately got to decide for yourself. But just know it will move a lot. That is, I think, one thing for sure. So, Jack, let's go. Tetron to Sir. So, every several years, Jamie spikes for no reason. Now, Ryan Cohen will dilute into run-ups, and Ryan Cohen will pump the lows. Or Roaring Kitty will pump the lows. They're screwed. Seems like it. Please, baby Jesus, no Bitcoin. I know, negative ban. Yeah, I know you're not for Bitcoin, man. So, and I get that. Listen, I totally get that. Not everybody is for Bitcoin, and that's where I'm kind of opposed. In that, like, I'm okay with it because I like Bitcoin and I'm a GameStop shareholder. But I'm opposed in the sense I understand there's people who wouldn't be fond of that idea, and also I already have Bitcoin, so I don't need GameStop to have Bitcoin, right? Which is tweeted, GameStop Hathaway. I agree in Jimmy future choices in their investments to get ready for inflation because I can. Exactly. Did this just sort of the gamma ran for the options, selling another 75 million shares into the market? Maverick potentially, but I don't think they're necessarily selling all of the shares right now, right? And let's see like percentage wise what they're at. Let's just go to GME. GME down 15% right now at the open. Not too bad relative. Oh, well, now it's on 20. Although one of these is not updating. I guess it's TradingView. Oh, no, maybe it's Yahoo Finance. Breaking news: U.S. economy expectations smashes expectations with 272,000 jobs in May. Okay, a little side note there, a little macro info. And little jump at the open. Obviously, these are only 1 minute candles, and we're only 3 minutes into the open. By the way, guys, unfortunately, I can only go until 10 a.m. Eastern, and then I do have to work, so we got about another 25 minutes or so. But Kansas City Shuffle, X1, I've seen a couple ideas with that, and I haven't fully looked into it, to be honest. There's been so much going on, but best case is they buy $500 million in Bitcoin. RSNs, it could happen, certainly possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but also, with the share offering, they filed, keep in mind, guys, those that are just joining, they filed to sell shares. It doesn't mean that they necessarily, did we already halt to the upside? Why isn't this updating? How did that create a halt? That's like the smallest move ever. Such a joke, such a joke. If that's actually the case, or maybe this isn't refreshing, am I losing connection here? What's going on? I don't know. It seems like we're halting though, right? Because stuck at at 93.61 already. Just going from 97 or 98. What a joke. Crazy. But best case, they buy $500 million Bitcoin. The gamma had been working so slow for weeks. The last one took 6 months. I was there. Long run. Hey, I appreciate that insight. So, again, they didn't necessarily issue these shares right away. Yes, they could sell up to 75 million shares, but we don't know when exactly they'll do that. So, those vapes are printing signs out saying, buy AMC GME. It will make you rich and put on their cars. Otherwise, I saw the Reddit post was forwarding. Ton of upvotes. Alan, that's pretty funny, but to be honest, gotta keep it real. GameStop is not AMC. They are not the same. There is only one, and that is GameStop. That is my oh so humble opinion, but that's just how I see it. Trust this process sell. That's what it comes down to for me. Ryan, yeah, I think that's certainly a valid point. Tyson, this isn't Roaring Kitty's end of game today. He won't stop. Buy and hold. Tyson, we'll see. Thanks for being here. 6 minutes to go. All right, so finally getting catch up. This will explode by the 21st of June. Dirty Bird, it's certainly possible. By June 21st, June 21st calls at open, buy when the others fear. Hey, listen, that's what they say, right? You gotta be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. Buffett, right? The GME to screw Ron Kitty. Nope. Subtetron. What up, Powerhouse? Good to see you. There's over 30K in the 30K in the chat and work Kitty's YouTube. It's crazy over there. Tyson, that is crazy, considering there's still like another 2+ hours till this guy starts streaming. I'm so curious what he's going to say. But so it goes. This is good. They're actually only 45 million shares. It's based on previous S3. They are selling 45 million shares combined with the previous 30 million in May. Oh, Juned, interesting. All right, I'm going to have to look into that more. I appreciate that comment. Specifics of share offering, because maybe there's something I'm missing. Again, I'm just reacting in real time, just like everyone else. Crazy. A halt. My whole rest of the stream here just going to be trading halts for GameStop. We'll see. And I just realized, I'm so silly, guys. I went and got the laptop, and now I'm just keeping the chat on the screen anyway. Like, what was the point of that, right? But whatever. Whatever. Live and learn, so. Whoop. And yeah, Dirty Bird, thank you so much again, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very much. No, they can add another 75 million. I was going to say, will there be a shareholders meeting next week? Yes, Anthony, there still is going to be a shareholders meeting. There's probably not going to be a earnings call. That just seems like the reality of it, but I think there's definitely still going to be a shareholder meeting. I don't think they can just cancel that. Orange Kitty chat is full of bots. I believe it, Whiskey. No, they said clearly an additional 75 million. Again, I'll double check it, but yeah, I thought it said 75 million and a new offering. But class CEO move, dilute and complete with the existing shareholders for supply of the market. There are no halts in after our markets. Yeah, exactly, Randy. Exactly. That's why we didn't have any halts right here, right? But here we are at the open, a halt right away. Crazy. Here we go, boys. We're still up 400% in 1 week. Exactly. When in doubt, zoom out. You know, the stock is still. That's another point I wanted to make. Thank you, Whiskey. That when you look back, right, look at the daily, crazy daily chart, right? And I'm so mad I messed up my trading view. Still, and the reason this candle is good right now, if you're confused, is because the market opened here, and this is the current price as of the halt, but it dropped off, you know, day over day. Still looking at the daily chart, it still looks generally bullish. And then looking at the weekly, this is just a wild couple of weeks, right, in terms of the weekly candles. But when in doubt, zoom out, and you can see, like, it's still up very significantly from its lows. It's still, anyone that's buying at 10 is still up 4x their money, right? They're still up 400%. So that's just some food for thought there. But it's just me, or is this halt been a little long? Oh no, it's just me. Any minute now it should resume. So let's shrink this back down. Oh, it used to automatically adjust. I don't know what I did on my silly thingy here, but FOMO, here we go, boys. Let's go, let's go. First halt. It's halted. Crazy. Classic halts. Got my calls. Let's fucking go moon. Oh, okay. A little up. Dirty Bird. I wish you the best of luck, brother, with your calls. LOL, mixtape. What up, what up? Halted. Halted. How is this a halt? Exactly. No, Ryan Sung. That's exactly what I was thinking. How is it a halt? But crazy. Shane Martin, Mitch. What up, what up? 120 million more shares. Dear S. GG. Echoes. Oh, Echoes. I knew you'd be back. I knew you. You always love to show up when something negative happens for GameStop, but that's all right, man. I appreciate the Bulls. I appreciate the Bears. Anybody popping in here, I appreciate it for real. Exactly, Ryan. Great channel, Tetron. First time here. Great job. Thank you, Long Rain. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm just trying my best. You know, that's all I can do, and I think I've improved a lot since I started streaming and talking about GameStop, and also become much more educated like everyone else. And it's been a great time documenting this journey. So thanks for being here. Great channel. Could not buy. Trailock, yeah, damn. See already, if you bought from there, right, it'd already be $5, and that's just the reality of GameStop, especially when it's early market trading. What are we getting? Another halt? Okay, not yet, not yet. You're awesome. Keep it up. Crown King. You're awesome, man. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you. Get your morning beers ready for the Roaring Kitty stream. Mixtape? I wish, man. I got to work. I have to work at 10 a.m. I actually better start powering up my laptop soon so I can make sure I clock in right away. Otherwise, I would love to just keep streaming all day. We were joking around last night, anyone that was here on the stream. It's like, I think I'm getting a little sickness coming on, getting a little cold. So feeling a little sick, you know. I might not be able to work Friday, as in today. I don't want to get anyone sick, right? Better just call out. Definitely nothing else going on, right? But scam halt. Exactly, Dirty Bird. Exactly. I think so. How does that first halt? Like, we've already moved more. I'm getting my work laptop ready. We've already moved more from here, right? From when the halt resumed to here. But how is this a halt right here? How is that a halt? A limit up, limit down? Give me a break. Give me a break. Have a good day at work, boss. I'm out. Negative Banana? Thank you, brother. Take care. When blood is in the water, bye. Dirty Bird, yeah, listen. It's a valid point. Your words, not mine. But yeah, open again. And just like that, close again. Another halt. Crazy. Watch the end of the day above 50 and see the banana guy commit to his bet. Brother, I didn't look. I'm just taking people's word for it. But supposedly, this man already completed the bet. That's all I'm saying. I didn't check it. I'm not interested in seeing that. I'll just take everyone's word for it. But supposedly, Rick of Spades 2.0 has already came through on his bet. That's just what my sources are telling me. That's what people. God, guys, my desk is such a mess. These past few days have been crazy. I got to clean this up at some point. But Jimmy flying, yeah, quarters, corner pocket, yes, sir. I mean, listen, another halt. Here we are. We already got 2 halts. Did I just mess up the mic? Test. No, we're good. Hope Martin Shirelli sold it open. I hope so too, Carters. I really hope so. That would really make my day. That would make me laugh so hard. Stupid stock. Right, he's gonna start typing all over Twitter. But already 60 million of volume. Damn, really? I didn't even realize that. Get this calculator out of the way. Is there? Yeah, damn. There is, isn't there? Or wait, we can check right here. Easier. Halts, man. halts. And I bet everyone thought, I even said before, I'm like, I think it's going to drop at the open. And look what we're doing at the open here, right? It's only down 5%. This is definitely already way different than the previous share offering, right? Which makes me think they're not necessarily offering shares at this exact moment in time. Yeah, it's 59 Villa. Oh my God. Damn, you were right, Negative Banana. 59 million volume already. Crazy. Banana Guy already did it. Exactly. I smell government involvement in this. Randy, I've long thought, that is a unfortunate real possibility. And I don't know if it goes as deep as people say. That kind of worries me in a way too, where just regular people are going to get hurt because of institutional and market maker and hedge fund nonsense, right? And obviously, that's very generally speaking, but we'll see. Second halt. All right. So what time did we halt at? It was 9:38. It's 9:41. What are we going to do for these next 2 minutes till it resumes? Do some stretching, some morning stretches. Get loose for the day, right? Halted again. Yep. 44.01 this time. What a dumbass. LOL. Exactly. Yeah, no, it would be so funny if Martin sold. Oh my God. That would. Let's go. Did he sell? Or let's see the Larry Chang tweet. I know someone had mentioned that. And let me just start getting my computer on the side here. Oh my God. Gotta make room on the desk. Too much going on. We got 2 laptops. Got the PC. I'm like, master trader, right? iPad, but the battery died. Came back from work. I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep. LOL. Good luck, brother. Trench coats, rat. Trench. 27 trench coat rats. Thank you for being here. Hey, listen, I'm sure it's going to be tough to sleep right now if you're trying to sleep. I know it took me a long time to fall asleep last night, right? But we must know the truth and we must avoid error. These are our first and greatest commandments as would-be knowers, but they are not 2 ways of stating identical commandment, but they are 2 separable laws. Interesting. Let's see, Martin. This man has 2 accounts too. What a bum. Okay, nothing yet. Is this guy still sleeping? Let's check the other one. What a bum. It's just like how you'd imagine an internet troll. I feel like if you want to put an image of an internet troll in your head, like that's what you would imagine, right? Just saying. But by the way, guys, if you haven't already, follow me at X/Twitter at TetronOfS. I always post an update on when I'm streaming and just my latest thoughts on GameStop. I love posting them there. So keep an eye on that. Follow if you can. I appreciate that. Got $40 calls. Let's go, Dirty Bird. Hey, I'm happy you're in. I wish you the best of luck, brother. You, Shay? Oh, no, you're good. FFIE, Faraday, Hava, Godson. FFIE is not the stock for me. I'll humor you. I'll look at it right now because I see it's trending. But listen, we've seen this time and time again. Gotta get the work laptop logged in. Every time GameStop starts rallying, oh, this is the next GME. This is the next GME, right? And sure, this thing could rally 100%, 200%. I don't know. But what I do know is it'll come crashing right back down eventually. So if you want to get in for a quick trade, sure, good luck. I wish you the absolute best, but just know there's been so many times where the next GME has always wound up being GME. And watch GME dilute at the top. Whiskey, it could happen. We'll see. Halt City Bitch. Halt City Bitch. Yes, sir. I like this guy. LMC, thank you. I like you too. Thanks for being here. Oh, a little gap up. Okay. We are back. Let's go. Smelly Shirelli. Or Scarelli. Whatever even say this guy's name. I don't even know. But are halts to be expected? Stocks auto halt when there's 5% change within 5 minutes, right? Roadhand, thank you for being here. So stocks halt based on percentage, right? Every stock is different. So it's not exactly 5% within 5 minutes. It's all based on the stock's historical price action, right? So if previously, like when we were getting a lot of halts back here, right? If I zoom out, we were getting a lot of, oh my gosh, this chart is driving me crazy. We were getting a lot of halts right here, right? And you can see especially like right here, there's a halt and various different times through here because prior to that, right, there wasn't a lot of movement in the stock. So I don't know the exact calculation, but it's based on like the past 3 months of trading where what percentage it needs to move within a 5-minute span in order to automatically trigger a limit up or limit down halt. But because we had this volatile period now, that's averaged into like the past 3 month span or whatever it particularly is. So now it shouldn't take as much of a move or a bigger move should be able to happen before a halt happens. Although it looks like we just got another one right there. Is that correct? Yep, number 3 on the day, guys. Number 3 on the day. Are you surprised? I wish I could say I was. But to me, what's crazy is we had a halt right here, or sorry, right here, and this was not a big move at all. Like it was, are these the 1 minutes? Yeah, this was like nothing. And where's the volume right here? Is this a glitch? Another glitch, right? No volume on this candle. Oh well, this was like the period it was halted, I guess. But oh, anyone just see that? Was that like a 5-second halt, not a 5-minute one this time? What's going on here? Halt on AMC too. Listen, Koisas, AMC could do its thing, right? And it's going to move around, but the unfortunate reality is it's not GameStop. It's just not GameStop. And they're probably just going to continue to pad their pockets. I don't have a personal vendetta against the movie theaters. I just think they leech on to the fact that people like GameStop and they just try and join in on the hype, right? And yeah, I've talked about AMC enough in the past, but Rowan Kitty's going to promote the Smart Share Global Limited, ticker M. It's Uno reverse card, GME backwards. Oh my gosh, AC, I do not think that's what's going to happen. I'll be straight up with you, brother. I do not think that's what's going to happen. But oh my god, ever since I saw sketch clips to this day now, you know, obviously everyone knows sketch. I always say brother. I used to never say that. I'm like, oh, what's up, brother? Like, it's so funny how people come along, start saying certain things, and it starts getting built into society. I have friends that say it, I say it now, and all of a sudden we're all saying it, right? So if in case you're wondering, why does it always call everyone brother now? That's why. But same time, you're my brothers and sisters. I've met so many awesome people along the way. Why would short sellers be scared when we create 75 million shares for them to cover with? Rowan Kitty having 120,000 options is a non-event when GME dilutes 75 million shares. Randy, I see what you're saying, but it really depends. Like if they actually sell them, they might not necessarily sell them right away. It all depends when they actually choose to issue them. And based on the start of the day price action, I would assume at this exact particular moment in time, they're not issuing shares. But that's just my opinion. We won't know until they fully issue the shares. He's a normal size LOTR character. And again, back on again, 46, 47. We flying just like that. We're green. Oof, we're going to halt again. Yep. So we were green for a moment, right? We were green briefly. I always think of that meme Fitzy post of that guy. It's like, so we're green today. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I bet he posted already. I'm going to check. This guy always posts it. It's classic. I love it. Shout out Fitzy. He's always putting good information out here on X/Twitter. Not yet. He didn't post it yet, but let's go. Halted at 44.01. So we've already had 3 halts here into the market open. And again, guys, I can only stream for about another 10 minutes. Then I do have to start working today, which is unfortunate. Getting sick. Might have to call out, right? But appreciate you guys being here so much, for real. Only 2 halts so far. Record halts today guaranteed. 3 halts, third stop. Looks like 5% here. Yeah, Shea Martin. So the limit up halts, 2 limit up halts. Or there's one here, and then now one here. So crazy. And one thing a point I want to make about the Roaring Kitty stream. So it's the 5-year anniversary of when he purchased his first lot of GameStop calls. So that might be why he's streaming today. Normally, he used to stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Today, it's at noon Eastern. So we're exactly 2 hours and can't do math, guys. Damn. 2 hours and 11 minutes away until his live stream starts. But be prepared for anything, because part of me thinks it might have to be pre-recorded in some way, because if it's not, like he slips up in the slightest way, you have the SEC, all 12 agents, right, that work there, because that's probably about it, and Massachusetts regular, everyone, all eyes on this guy, right? Fixated. What is this guy going to do? What is he going to say? Any little thing he says, court, oh my God, illegal, market manipulation, right? I think that's a real worry. So part of me thinks like he has to be very general. Maybe he's not even going to talk about GameStop, or he's going to do something like, oh, what does this button do? And just click exercise and then end the stream at the same time, or something insane like that. All possibilities, right? But part of me also thinks too, maybe he's just going to be like, cheers, everybody, and then just take a sip of his beer or chug a beer. Maybe not even have a beer, right? And then that's the whole stream, right? Maybe just to troll this mainstream media and like overhyping him coming back, just to show like he has nothing to do with the movement. I'm just saying I don't think that's totally impossible. And I would absolutely love to hear what this guy has to say, to be perfectly clear. But I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys as to I think what could potentially happen. So I don't know, though. I don't know, right? I'm not an expert on GameStop. I'm not an expert on markets. I'm never trying to be. I mean, of course, I'm trying to learn the most I can and become as knowledgeable as I can. But I'm certainly not a Roaring Kitty expert. You know, the only person that knows what Roaring Kitty is going to do is Deep fucking value. You know what another person knows? Keith Gill. They're the only ones that know. And guess what? They're all the same person. So we'll see. We'll see. Any minute now we should be resuming, right? When do we halt again? These halts feel so long when you're live streaming. Any minute now we're going to resume. Trailac, I know it's tough to get in because when it halts you can't buy, and then when it resumes you're like, oh, the price is so different than when it halted. It's going to be a hard day to folks at work today. I know, Ryan, I know. And yesterday was already, it just happened to be a busy day for me. I had like a bunch of meetings. Like when I went into the meeting, when I was in my meeting yesterday, I went into the meeting right here. I came out of the meeting and we were here. I was like, huh? What's going on here? Or something like that, right? Or maybe it was like back here. And then it was here because it was like a 45-minute meeting. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then it was like, Ron Kitty streaming again. I'm like, what? So again, we'll continue to see what happens today. But yeah, it was so hard to focus at work yesterday because one, Ron Kitty's back. And two, I was already having like a busy day. And then towards the end of the day, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to get as much done as I can because I know tomorrow's only going to be crazier. And then I work a shorter day on Friday. Like I'm incredibly blessed to work a schedule of only 10 to 4 on Friday as part of like a full-time schedule. So that's very, very nice. And that's how I was able to stream this morning and how I'm able to go till exactly 10 a.m. Eastern. And then I'll have to wrap it up. But then you guys could rest a little, digest, watch the price action, and then prepare for whatever Roaring Kitty's going to say on his stream. Like I said, maybe nothing, maybe something. I don't know. We will find out. But let's look at the volume right now. 69. Hey, very nice. Already 69 million, though. Is insane. That's already more than like single days. Like today might be, I think today I can confidently say will be the highest volume day since May 14th. And I think we're probably even going to pass that. And maybe it's even the highest single volume day since January 2021. Just throwing an idea out there, just a prediction. But 69 volume is already higher than Tuesday alone. And we're already almost at what Wednesday saw, which is just crazy. It's actually crazy. 70 million. Damn. Another halt. Do we have another halt here? Nope. We're just frozen. Okay. Dropping off. But listen, no matter what, guys, there's going to be halts today. There's going to be volatility today. Just prepare for anything, my friends. Prepare for anything. 3 halts within 7 minutes apart. Crazy because I can. Crazy. 2 hours to Roaring Kitty scream. Let's go. Guilty Gutter, go away. What was that? Shimar's in the biggest one so far. On again. Yep, I don't care. Win, lose, let me race coach. I got you, Trolak. I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Have a great Friday, everyone. Have to jump into a meeting. Take care, Long Rain. Thank you so much for being here. Good to meet you, brother. Hope to see you back soon. Blackberry 2 halted. Trolak, yeah, listen, I'm sure AMC and Blackberry, maybe there are baskets, right? I'm not totally opposed to that idea, but I just think like GameStop is the only GME. GME is the only GameStop. Yes, these other stocks are going to move with it, but it's unlike the rest. So that's just reality. Uno reverse card is ticker EM. Okay. AC, you're going to timeout. You get a 30-minute timeout, my friend. We don't care about backwards GME here. We don't. I'll just be honest with you. Listen, you can have that opinion. It's no hate on you, but you already said it once in the chat. You don't have to say it again. We're not interested, brother. We're not interested. And I'll speak for myself. I'm not interested. If you're interested, everyone else, go look at the backwards GME theory. You're more than welcome to do that. But cash in the bank is nice. Listen, Scott, you're not wrong about that. That's absolutely true. It gives people the opportunity. Oh, man, I'm already seeing emails and voicemails to call back. I wish I could just stream all day, guys. I really should have just called out of work. I should have just called out of work. I really should have, but nah, can't do that. Can't do that. I don't want to. I gotta also take 2 weeks off in a month from now when I go on my vacation. So don't want to use all the rest of my PTO before the year is over, right? So that's already like a good chunk of it. So, but really, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Whether you're watching live, watching this back, just popping in for a long time. I appreciate you guys. This is an epic journey, and I'm just trying to keep documenting it in real time. Quit your job now. You work for me now. Oh, yeah. Treylac, you show me a pay stub. What's that scene? Donnie, and that's such a good scene. Wolf of Wall Street has so many good scenes. The Matthew McConaughey one, I love that. And then I love the Donnie one where he's like, hey, you show me a pay stub for $120 million right now. I quit my job and work for you. I thought that guy was kind of crazy, but I show him the pay stub, and sure enough, hey, what's the guy's name? Hey, John. Yeah, it's Donnie. Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, everything's good. Yeah, listen, I quit. Like, something like that. Like, such an epic scene. And from there, it all began. Stratton Oakmont. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. I might have to watch. Oh, and the battery died on the computer. Damn it, my laptop battery is terrible on my work computer. Okay. We got to get this back on. I didn't even punch in yet. Damn it. Damn it. Well, obviously, not going to punch in while I'm working my other job, right? Name your price. Exactly, Treylock. Exactly. But, man, no matter what, guys, this journey's epic. I don't know what DFE is going to say today. Nobody does besides Keith Gill or Warren Kitty, which, by the way, if you aren't aware, is the same person. So, with that being said, just be mentally ready for anything. Like, he might say nothing. He might just say, surprise! Cheers, everybody. Exercise the calls, not exercise the calls. I don't know. I'm not here to be the one to tell you. But we'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see. Hold on 1 second. I gotta do something on the side. But yeah, I'll stick around here until we resume one more time. When was this halt? This was at 9:54, right? Per this chart. So that means I could go right till 9:59. I'll see it resume trading for a minute. And then from there, guys, I do have to go. I do appreciate you being here. I wish I could keep going. Should have got sick today. Should have got sick today, right? That would have been the best move. Just talk GameStop. But who knows? Maybe in the future there's going to be an even crazier day that I'm going to have to call out or get sick. Wink, wink. But yeah, guys, what a morning. What a morning. Totally unexpected news. Again, I'm going to try and digest it and just further understand it, get more information. I'm always trying to get smarter and become more knowledgeable on markets, GameStop, Bitcoin, everything. Everything I want to become more and more knowledgeable about, right? So, having said that, I'm going to try and digest this news over the weekend, try and get a better understanding, a better thesis as to what's going on. This is all just reacting in real time right here. So, wow, I feel like a super mega trader right now, logging on all these different laptops. But, bro, stock's going down. Listen, Leon, that's the reality of this journey, brother. This is the reality of the journey. It goes up, it goes down, it goes left, right, sideways. Matthew McConaughey. It's wazzy, it's woozy. Moves all around, right? That's just the reality of it. There's going to be a lot of volatility. It'll probably go up to 55, down to 30, up, down, left. Maybe not all today, right? But it's going to make all kinds of moves. That's just the reality of it. So you got to be mentally prepared for anything. Nobody knows at this point. Enjoy the journey. Exactly, Ryan. Exactly. We are primed for a pullback around 37 anyways, expecting a move to 50 from there. Hey, up. Thank you for being here. It's possible. I don't think it's totally impossible. I mean, it seems like in the pre-market we started holding 36, 37 pretty decently. Did I just unplug my mic? No. I keep accidentally stepping on it because it's wired. I'm like, oh, I just unplugged that. But I don't think that's totally a crazy idea. Maybe we drop a little more, kind of hold this level over here around 36, 37, and then go from there. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's zoom out a little just to get some more perspective. So overall, though, it seems like we're kind of still trending up. Like if we zoom out, like the 1 month, still generally an upward trend if we kind of hold around this level. And then when you look at the dailies, still generally, right? Not a big TA guy, but just generally upward trend, right? Or you could say from here. Again, not a big TA guy, but just sharing some thoughts. Oh, not that one. Right? Maybe we hold this kind of level. I don't know. Again, I'm not a big TA guy, but I'm just saying, just looking at it from in a very simplistic approach, it seems to still be trending up from its low of $10 that we saw about May 1st. So pretty much all of May was action-packed for GameStop. There's no doubt about that. And this is the most action we've had on the stock since January 2021. So for anyone in this a long time, this is definitely the most action we've seen. And look at the daily volume sticks already. Like we're already past Tuesday's total volume. We're approaching Wednesdays. I think when the halt resumes, we'll already be at Wednesday's total volume. And it's only 10 a.m. It's only 10 a.m. Again, Eastern, but 30 minutes into the trading day. And we're going to resume any moment here. I'll try and stay live another 2 minutes here, and then I do got to wrap it up because I got to take some incoming calls this morning. So, all right, we are live again. We are resuming. We're about to wrap it up in a minute, but where this morning's halts the way up, I don't see them halting on the way down. Coffee, thanks for being here. I do have to wrap it up in a second, but There was one on the way down here, there was one on the way up, and then there was another one here on the way up, and then another one here on the way down. I think this is number 5 we're at, so it was both ways, but we ride it dawn. Yes, sir, Ryan. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. Oh, I wish I could stay. I wish I could stay. So many of you here right now, too. I appreciate you all so much. 119. Damn, look at this. Just for a short stream this morning. You guys are so awesome. You guys are really so awesome, and got to try and do more GameStop morning streams before work. If there's time, if there's a lot going on, why not, right? Why not? I got to make sure I'm settled in here. A little good morning in the Teams chat. Good morning. But yeah, like I said, I'm just like everyone else. So at the end of the day, gotta do it just for me. Are you horny as hell? You leave the stream. Totally the roaring kitty in the chat. Totally the real one. Totally not a fake account. No way. I know I'm so hot, roaring kitty. Thank you. I know. I'm sweating right now. Flattered. Thank you. But Ryan isn't in for this for short squeezes. Exactly, Coffee. Yeah, I think, listen, he's focusing on the business fundamentals. And that's a little bit as to why, right now maybe they're issuing shares. And again, I was saying before, I'm trying to just digest it all. But I think ultimately he's focused on making GameStop great. They're going to use the investment policy in some shape or form in the near future. But we'll see. We'll see. I absolutely love this journey. I think whether you're a bull or a bear, it's hard to argue that this journey isn't exciting, right? So I got to wrap it up here. Time to clock in for work. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Hope everyone has an excellent day, an excellent weekend. Subscribe, like, follow me on X/Twitter for updates of future streams. Looks like I exit out, but it's just at Tetron Invest. And yeah, I'm going to let it go for today. Good morning, you beautiful GM investors. Today's a great day. Johnny G Diamond Hands, thank you for being here. I got to go, brother, but appreciate you popping in. Wendy, have a good day. Good shift. Yes, sir. Thank you, Ryan. Endgame, cheers. Cheers to all. Have a great day. Just remember, keep your focus. Stay mentally strong. Stick to your own principles as an individual. That's so important, to know thyself and what's best for you. Always make your own individual decisions. Always educate yourself as much as you can. Have a great day.